Thank you, Satyam. Thank you. Sir.
Satyam, you are a student of PSIR.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the difference between communism and socialism?
So the major difference is that communism is a stateless society, but in the socialism there is a state which enforces the rule of law and other social redistributive mechanism. So second is social. According to Marx, socialism is the midway to communism, and it comprises of dictatorship of proletariat. So
Okay, fine.
This is the major difference.
Can you tell me the difference between a flow test and a composite flow test when both are used?
Sir, floor test is just used to check whether the party has the majority, effective majority or not. But composite floor test comes into play when some alternate parties are ready to form government and the legislatures have to vote for that party too. That if the ruling party loses majority, there is an party which is ready to form the government.
Right. And we often hear that Prime Minister is the first among the equals. Okay. And this phrase, first among equals, does it signify equality of status or inequality of status?
Sir, can I take a guess?
Sure.
Sir, when Constitution says that Prime Minister is first among the equals, it means that Prime Minister is also a member of Cabinet. And that is why the other ministers and Prime Ministers are of the same hierarchy. But Prime Minister, since
same hierarchy,
at the same level, I mean, Prime Minister commands the whole Cabinet, but in the constitutional point of view, they are termed as equals.
So, should we take it as equality or inequality?
Sir, if we see practically, then Prime Minister is definitely not equal among us because he commands a major position in Cabinet. But
fine, leave it. Can you tell me the difference between a state and a nation?
So there are few differences. The first, that a state is a political entity having limited or definitive territorial area and a population to command authority over. But nation is a cultural identity where people have shared history, shared culture, and have devotion towards.
Can we have a situation of a state without a nation?
State without a nation? Yes, sir, it can have, because in today's world there are many multicultural societies, which if we go.
But they are having multiple nations. I think I would put it like multiple nations in a state, but not a state without a nation.
Sir, I think
are these two things same?
Sir, it depends upon the people whom they associate with. If they have the priority of their own local group in mind, then they have certain different association. But in India, if we talk, like, it is a multicultural society and people have devotion to the Indian nation and not particularly.
Okay, Satyam, tell me what is China plus one model and why it has been in news. China plus one.
Sir, can you give any in which sense, sir?
Like after COVID-19, many countries wanted like their like they should not be dependent on only one country. So in that context, it is China plus one.
Sir, if I am not wrong, then it is regarding diversifying the supply chain, because in the globalization, countries have realized that relying upon one particular country is immensely dangerous, particularly if we importing critical technologies from that country. So we have taken, all the countries have taken certain steps to diversify their supply chain.
Fine. Recently, there was a case in which a documentary was made. And in that documentary, the voice of a person who is no longer alive, it was recreated using artificial intelligence and other technologies. Now, what do you think are the ethical issues in doing such a thing? Is it right or is it wrong? Are you aware about this documentary?
No, sir, I'm not aware of this documentary. But if we talk about ethically, if we are using that documentary for public purpose and for a good purpose, then it might give some benefits for us, provided that that documentary is not used for unethical purposes. So this is my point of view, sir.
Fine. My final question to you, how many Indians have gone to space, or people of Indian origin who have gone to space, and what is Kármán line?
So what is?
Kármán line. Kármán.
Kármán line.
Yes.
Sorry, sir, I will have to look into what is Carmel lie. But